Jeez, what time is it? Jeez, crying out loud, is that late? Come on. The hell is he? What the hell is that? Must be him now. Yeah, there he is.
Dad, hey, why are you still up?
Yeah, I've been waiting for you. Where you been?
Kind of got home late from the party, but I do have a good explanation.
All right. Better be good.
Yeah, I know. So what happened, me and the friends, we went to the party you let me go to, and it ended at about 10 o'clock, and that's when we left. But on our way back, his car broke down.
Did you get abducted by an alien or something? What? Come on.
Listen, on our way back, his car broke down. And we had to call another friend that had already left the party, so he was already home, so he came to pick us up. And then we were driving our way back here when we saw this lady come running out of the woods, and it was our neighbor Josie. So we stopped and we asked her what was wrong because she looked like very panicked, and she said that her cat had got out. And the cat's never been outside before, so it was running away.
Wait a minute. Josie came running out of the woods.
Yes.
Her cat never been outside before? I mean, come on.
But it's true. So she came out of the woods and the cat got out. So we were looking for the cat for nearly an hour and a half until we finally found it, and it ran out in the middle of the road, nearly getting hit by a car. Thankfully, the guy stopped and got out and caught the cat so we could get it. And we all drove back in his car because we were out. We didn't have a car. And it turns out he was a pizza delivery guy, so he decided to bring in a pizza. And we all relaxed at her house, and she thanked us very much. She was very nice, actually. And then she decided to drive me home, and now I'm home.
Yeah, that is a good one. Yeah, you forgot, like I say, you forgot the part about the alien abduction.
You don't believe me, do you?
Come on, son. Look, when you could have called me. When I was young, I tried to get away with some stuff too. I'm telling you, it's just best to tell the truth.
But I'm telling the truth. I'm not lying. Even my phone even died, so I couldn't call you.
Oh yeah, I see. Okay. Well, gee, it's just too bad. I mean, you can't get away with that. I tried to do that stuff when I was young. I can't. I mean, I know, you're not pulling anything over on me.
I'm telling the truth. I swear.
Oh, come on. Might make a good novel, but it doesn't read too good in reality. Look, you got to suffer with the consequences of your actions.
What do you mean?
You're grounded for the next 2 months.
Dad, I'm nearly 18 years old.
No. No discussion.
2 months
End
is
of conversation.
Too long.
2 months. Now go to your room.
Oh my gosh. Fine. Go to my room.
Now, who the hell is that? Hello? Hello?
Oh, hey there, Bob. I just wanted to thank your wonderful son for helping me find my dear Mittens. She was lost for so long, and he was such a sweetheart. Also, the pizza man says he won't charge him for that. And I do suggest that you go find someone to pick the car up off the side of the road. He kind of left it there in a bit of a mess. So I would do that sooner rather than later. But just thank you again, Bob, and thank your wonderful son. He really is a great boy, and I know he loves you very much and would never lie to you. Anyways, have a good night. Toodles.
Me and my big mouth. I don't. Welcome, everybody, to Cooking Nashville. We feature the top chefs in the Nashville area every week. I'm your host, Steve McClure, and tonight we have a guest I know you'll enjoy. He's an internationally acclaimed Chef Ronnie. He's just written a book including his favorite recipes. Please welcome Chef Ronnie.
Good evening, Steve. How's it going?
Hey, Ronnie. Thanks for coming on the show.
Glad to be here.
Really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Not a problem.
First, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? I mean, how did you get started in cooking?
Well, I got started in cooking when I was in high school, and my parents they were so busy, and they didn't always be at home when I come in, so I would always have to cook. So my mom would always have a menu for us to go by, and so I started cooking, at the age of 17 with her menu, and so as it continued on, as I grew and got grown, so that's probably my basic start in cooking.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Now your recently released book, Cooking with Ronnie, has hit the bestseller list. How does that make you feel?
Man, that's awesome. I never expected, to be at the #1. So it is #1, but the recipes that's in there they are hand-me-down recipes from my grandmother and her mother. So don't be surprised. It's something in there your grandmother maybe done cooked before.
Well, nothing like home cooking. I think everybody agrees with that.
That's it.
So you're going to clue us in on one of your favorite recipes, right? Tell us about it. Describe how you make it.
Okay, one of my favorite recipes is steak and onions. Sauteing a steak on top of the stove. Mm-hmm. What you do is you season it up pretty much, both sides lightly, not too much.
What kind of seasoning would you use, Ronnie?
I just use basic salt and pepper. Just a pinchful of salt on both sides of the meat, and then a pinchful of pepper on both sides of the meat. And then what I would do is I would get a frying pan, and I would also put some water in it. I would put like a third cup of water in it, and cut the eye on medium. And once that's done, then I'll just put the steaks in there, and then I'll let them just sim. And I let them sim for 5 minutes on each side, and then I turn them over. 5 more minutes on the other side, and then after that, I would take a knife and I would just cut it up, not all the way through. I would cut it halfway, like in about, if it's like about 4 inches long, I would cut like in sections, so the meat will cook properly through.
I see.
And then I would turn it over, like 5 minutes, on each side again. And then once the meat is halfway done, then I'll cut up some onions, and then I'll add some olive oil to the pan, and then we'll just I say maybe about 4 cups of olive oil into the pan, and then we'll dice up some onions, and then we'll let them saute, and then once they sauteed, it's in about maybe 10 minutes, it's time to eat.
Oh, I see. It's a very simple but delicious recipe from the sounds of it. Well, we'd like to thank you for coming on the show tonight. And again, the book is Cooking with Chef Ronnie.
Yes. And
you can find it at your local bookstores or, of course, online. And you've got to come back and see us again, Ronnie.
That's not a problem, Steve. I'll be excited to come again.
Thank you,
Steve. We'll see you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for this episode of Cooking Nashville, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Cooking Nashville. We feature the top chefs in the Nashville area every week. I'm your host, Steve McClure. Tonight we have a guest I know you'll enjoy. He's the internationally acclaimed Chef Ronnie. He's just written a book including his favorite recipes entitled Cooking with Ronnie. Won't you please welcome our guest for tonight, Chef Ronnie.
Good evening, Steve. How are
you? Welcome, Ronnie. Glad you could make it.
Glad to be here.
Good to have you. Well, thanks for appearing on the show. And can you tell us a little bit about yourself? How did you get your start in cooking?
How did I get my start? Well, the first time I ever cooked was in my mother's kitchen. She would always come in late, and she would always have a recipe for us. And so I would always go by her recipe in order to eat dinner. So that's how I started cooking when I came in from school.
I see. Your recently released book has hit the bestseller list. Can you tell us how that makes you feel?
Number one, who doesn't want to be number one? It makes me feel so great to be number one. So if I'm number one, then, you know, once you get this book, you'll be number one too.
Well, thanks. That's a nice thought, Ronnie.
Yes, sir.
And so tonight you're going to clue us in on one of your favorite recipes, how you go about making it?
Sure, I can do that. One of my favorite recipes is, I have a breakfast food I like to cook, blueberry pancakes with a side of strawberries. So what I would normally do is I'll just get some batter and batter it up. And I would give me some blueberries, wash them off, and give me some strawberries and dice them up. And I would mix them in together. I wouldn't blend them. I would just mix them in a cup together. So, and I mix it in with the batter. And so once I mix it in with the batter, I just pour it in the pan. I put some olive oil in the pan, heat up the pan for about 5 minutes, and pour the mix in the pan. And we cook the mix for at least about 3 minutes on one side. And then we'll flip the pancakes on the other side, and we'll let it cook for almost 2.5 minutes. And so once that second side is done, then we'll take them out of the pan, and we'll be ready to eat pancakes. Blueberry, strawberry pancakes.
Wow, that's delicious. I think everybody would agree with that. That's great, Ronnie. I want to thank you for being on the show tonight, and you got to come back and see us again sometime. Honestly, really. So good night, and I want to thank you again for coming on the show.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank
I'll
you,
come
Ron.
back again. Thank you.
Anytime.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that does it for this edition of Cooking Nashville. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Five, two, one. Action.
How could I have let this happen? How am I going to tell Liam? What am I going to do?
Oh, what happened to you?
Nothing. Fine.
So, what you been up to? What have you been up to? What's wrong? What? Come on. You can tell me.
I'm failing English.
Failing English? What do you mean? You're always at school. How can you be failing English?
I got an F.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen? You could just take the class over again. I mean, your professors are kind of boring.
Well, unlike you, 4 years is way too long to be in school.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'm still trying to figure out my path.
Besides, who has money for that anyways?
It's a good question. Don't tell Mom.
Speaking of Mom.
What? Come on, spit it out.
How do you think she'd feel about being a grandma?
Oh, she would lose her mind. And she probably also said that she's too old, or too young at least for that. Why? Who's pregnant? No, there's no way. I didn't even know you had a boyfriend.
I don't!
Well, then who's the dad?
Charlie.
Who?
It's Charlie!
Wait. My Charlie?
Yes!
What do you mean, my Charlie?
I'm sorry, Liam.
How could you do something like this? How long has it been?
Last summer.
Last summer? How could you do something like this to your own brother, who has been married?
I'm sorry.
I can't believe you. I can't believe you.
Okay, guys.
I'm going to have to talk to Charlie about this.